You're listening to WHIP.
Hello?
I have just one question for you. Are you ready?
Am I ready for what? Who's this?
Are you ready for the Sunday Sports Show? Good morning, Temple. Not morning. It's 12:01, so now it's afternoon. Jimmy Williamson and John Gilbert in the studio. My name is Ryan Snowden. And I just realized that if I was not on this show, then you guys could call it the Jimmy John Show. And you could have Jimmy John's deliver hoagies.
Sandwiches. That's funny. Man, that's sponsorship right there. We need
That's
to get
the
a
sponsorship.
deal going.
All right.
Free sandwiches.
We'll call Jimmy John's after this. And then you guys can change the name to the Jimmy John's Show.
Strike up a deal.
Maybe for next year, though. I don't really think that would fly if I'm still here. Jimmy John's Ryan's Show wouldn't really work too well.
Yeah,
It's not the best morning to be a Philadelphia sports fan after the Flyers lost again last night. They're now down 2-0.
What was the final score last night's game? Was it 4-1?
4-1. I don't know. I left Maxie's when they scored that fourth goal, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think that was the
something
final.
like that. Couturier is not coming back this series. They're down 2-0, and to the best team in the NHL, and one of the best teams that the NHL has seen in years. It's not looking very good.
It's not looking very good.
Couturier makes more of a difference on the Flyers, especially for playoff hockey, than any player does on that team, other than maybe Mason, who has been outstanding the past couple weeks.
Except for that one goal last night.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty bad.
Egregious
That
goal.
was just totally
you
awful.
can't let that happen.
No, that's inexcusable. And my dad hates Mason, and I know that when I go home, he's just going to let me hear it. Just about that one goal. Even though he's wrong, and Mason is the future for the Flyers and is the guy that can win us a Stanley Cup with the right team around him. So, what are the odds? What are the odds to come back?
Not very likely.
I feel like our answer right there just said it. The group.
The collective groan. Because they can't get anything going on offense.
Nah, they really
and
can't.
then they can't stop the Caps when they're on defense. So, if you can't score and you can't stop the other team, that's not typically a good combination for winning. And in fact will get you swept, which may very well happen.
Yeah, watching that game last night, I was talking with people, and we were legitimately wondering, will the Flyers actually score a goal in this series? And it was like, Brandon Holtby is just very, very good.
He is.
It's just tough.
He was the goalie of the year this year.
Yes.
He will win the Vezina Trophy, and deservedly so, since he has more wins than any other goalie in the history of the NHL in one season.
Yeah.
Other than Martin Brodeur with 48. So, not much else we can say about the Flyers.
They're just burned out.
They're not burned out. They're playing a good team. They don't have the playoff experience, other than some players do, but
I mean,
it's just not there yet.
You just gotta hope that they come back to Philly and they can play well enough that they can shift the momentum. Maybe it'll change the tone of the series. Like, get a leg up on them and try and steal one over in Washington.
I feel like they gotta win too.
They have
to
win in Philly now. Their backs are kind of against the wall.
They gotta win both games.
Yeah, it's now it's must-win time.
Yeah,
like, there's no wiggle room.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, they are, like you said, they're still a young team with not much experience. So any playoff experience will serve them well going forward in any other season.
Yeah, honestly, did any of us expect the Flyers to be in the playoffs this year?
No, not especially when they were
new coach.
10, 15 points out. I mean, in the beginning, maybe, but I mean, they were really hurting.
Yeah, no,
Godsphere
kind of sparked the team, got him here, but I don't know. It looks like everyone's just run out of juice because Godspere's not playing too great. Voracek hasn't been playing too great from injury. He had that goal last night, but still, he's playing like a shell of his former self.
I will say I'm more excited about the Flyers' future than I am about any team in Philly.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Because they're already good. and their prospect pool is just as good as any other team in Philly.
As good as the prospects like Philly teams have, like the Flyers legitimately have the best prospect pool in like the NHL. Like the Phillies have a very good prospect pool, the Flyers legitimately have the best. Like in their
and they're already good.
I mean, looking from your guys' perspective, that's the thing is like because they already have a good prospect pool and some of those prospects have already been developing, like Gottisbeer and probably screwed up that name, and a couple of the other guys that are already turning into players. It's better than like looking at J.P. Crawford with the Phillies and being like, wow, he'll be great, and then having him turn into Dominic Brown. So
right.
I get it.
Hey, Dominic Brown had that month.
Yeah. And now
one
he's
month.
in Toronto.
Yeah. Living it up in the 6.
Well, they got Ivan Provorov, who's going to be coming up next year.
Yeah.
And he is definitely the real deal. People love Ghost. He's going to be just as good as Ghost, if not better.
I really think he'll be better than Ghost. How is he supposed to be offensively, Provorov?
Really not sure. But he
I
is.
think he's all right.
I think he's pretty good.
Like, not super...
The thing is,
great.
it's hard to tell when he plays in a junior league. This is his first year in the Western Hockey League, which is ages from 14 to 19.
Well,
so he is a god amongst men in that entire league.
Actually, now that I think about it, during the like Junior World Hockey Classic or whatever it was, he was one of the like points leaders among all players. So I think he actually is pretty.
He is
decent.
a champion. Yeah,
he's a champion.
They picked a good year to suck last year to get a high draft pick because he really turned out well for him.
Yeah, well, that whole draft, oh my god. Like, they got, the 6th pick and lucked into the best defenseman in an ungodly good draft.
Yeah.
That was such a good situation. I'm like smiling ear to ear just thinking about it.
Did you guys fill out a Stanley Cup playoff bracket?
Mm-hmm.
And who do you guys have?
I think I had Florida.
Okay.
I have the Flyers.
Of course. Over who?
Who do I have them beating? The Blackhawks.
Yeah, I had the Blackhawks in.
Makes sense, yeah.
Against the...
I think I had the Blackhawks over the Islanders, so I had Florida out first round. We'll see how that series go. Right now, that series is 1-1, and that's it's really two inexperienced teams. One of them was the worst team in the league only 2 or 3 years ago. When the draft was in Philly, the Panthers had the first pick in the draft, and they drafted Aaron Ekblad, who has certainly developed. It would be nice to see them win so Jágr can get a Stanley Cup and maybe go out on top like that.
That would be so nice.
That would be really nice. Even though, he's already won 2. He won 2 at the Penguins before we were even born.
Boo.
That'd be cool to see that. But I don't know how I feel about poor. There's a difference between fan bases in every other league and then certain fan bases in the NHL that when the team is bad, they are just completely non-existent. And the Panthers are absolutely one of those teams.
Really?
And I'm not sure how I would feel about their fan base, which doesn't exist, getting a Stanley Cup.
You got to remember that they're a Florida team, and all the Florida teams have abysmal fan bases because there are so many people who go to Florida from up north.
Yeah.
And they just don't have the support. Like the Rays, when they were...
They're the worst.
Yeah, nobody in the whatever it is, that dome.
Tropicana Field.
Yeah, that's right.
Always ranked. Every single year ranked the worst stadium.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Probably. It's got to be.
AstroTurf and a dome. And
Yeah.
it's ugly.
I knew the catwalk was the worst.
Balls at the catwalk. Players despise AstroTurf. That is such a mediocre, and we're well beyond that time of playing on AstroTurf where everyone thought it would save teams money. Players despise it.
Yeah.
I
think it's a Florida team thing. I mean, even
it is.
Like the Marlins,
Yeah.
the Dolphins, they just...
The Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jags, like, they don't get anyone. It's not a knock on their on the teams per se. It's just don't put any more squads in Florida because you're not going to get people to show up.
Yeah, you're not.
Not at all.
Such a big
Unless you're
market,
good.
Though. It's tough. Like, no one cares, but this is where the people are.
Yeah.
And this is where you'll make money and stuff.
And you got, I guess, in areas like that, with a lot of people who retire, you got a lot of rich people who are going to end up going to the games and will be able to spend more money. Even though, the funny thing is, the Panthers, I know, offer season ticket packages for like $250.
Oh,
and you get free parking and a jersey. Yeah.
Oh my god.
When they were bad, it was that bad.
Wow. Yeah, that's rough. That's like, wow. How are you making any profit?
I don't
off
know.
of that?
They are a good team though, so I could definitely see them winning. My Final Four, I'm pretty sure I had Blackhawks. I either had the Kings or the Ducks, and those two teams are just good year after year.
Yeah.
And it was really feeling like a Kings year this year, just because. I mean, we've also gone back and forth pretty much every year from Blackhawks Kings, Blackhawks Kings. The Kings are down 2-0 to the Sharks now. I will never count the Kings out until they are out. That is
They are
the
the
biggest
comeback
mistake you
kids.
can make. The two playoff runs that they've had this decade have just been incredible. So we'll look for those storylines throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. There is another playoffs that just started. The NBA playoffs started yesterday.
Actually,
Is this
sure.
not the best time of the year?
It really is. It's well, I don't know. I think my favorite sports time of the year is like October
Yeah,
when baseball's
that-
winding
Okay,
down.
yeah.
You have every sport going on.
Yeah.
That's what I was
But
just gonna
this
say.
is a close second. This is just playoff season. and
Yeah.
it is exciting.
And everyone fills out. It's becoming a more common thing for people to fill out Stanley Cup playoff brackets.
Yeah, it really is.
Does
Kinda
anyone
surprised me.
bother filling out an NBA playoff bracket?
The problem with the NBA is that it's so predictable.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
the one is going to beat the
incredibly,
8
yeah.
nearly every time.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not going to happen this year. I mean, the 8's not going to beat the 1 this year.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at who the 8 seeds are.
The
and who the
Rockets
1 seeds are.
and who's the 8 seed in the
The
East?
Pistons.
Yeah,
Ooh,
against the
really?
against the Cavs and Golden State. Like, that's the only competitive part of this year's playoffs will be in the West, and it will be whomever the Spurs and Golden State and Oklahoma City play when they get
Yeah.
to the semifinals.
I don't know, but before that, there could be some interesting series because I'm very curious about the Atlanta-Boston series. That one went down to the wire a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
the one series I think might be. That's a 5-4.
Yeah.
I think that's the one series that I picked for an upset.
And-
Everything else, I think the higher seed is going to win every single series.
Nah, I can
In
see
the
the
East-
Pacers upsetting the Raptors.
That I didn't expect that yesterday. That was a big upset, and
In
they
the-
really handled them pretty well towards the end.
Yeah,
In the
if you-
East, the 3 to 7 seeds I think all had like the same record, or 3 to 6 or 4 to 7 or
Yeah,
something like
they're
that. They're all
basically
like
the
40
same.
and 34. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, that was very impressive
To
yesterday.
me, with the East, if you're not the Cavs, then you're basically just the same as everyone else.
Like what are their odds of winning the East?
Who?
The Cavs.
Very high. I mean, like, people talk about, like, oh, the Raptors are legit this year, and they could give the Cavs, like, a good run for their money, but the Raptors are always the Raptors. And they'll make it maybe win the first series, make it into the next round, but honestly, I do not expect them to make a very good run. I like to think the Heat could give them,
Without
give them a
Bosh,
good
it's going to
test.
be really tough.
God, that's just a shame with that dude. I love Chris Bosh, and
But he's doing a lot better now
is he?
with his blood clots. I think he's if he doesn't retire this year, then he'll be all right to play next year.
That would be cool. But yeah, if the Heat had Chris Bosh, then I would say they have a good chance of upsetting the Cavs.
Definitely.
But without him, that just I don't know. That just leaves a lot unclear. But honestly, I wouldn't sleep on the Pacers as kind of decent. I don't want to say good. Because they were all right this year. Paul George was their team, and he kind of carried them. But I just have kind of a gut feeling about the Pacers. I feel like they could make a little bit of a run. So, either you guys got a dark horse team?
No,
Yeah,
not this year.
I think it'll be either Golden State or San Antonio against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Not that I'm.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I
talking
don't-
about the East.
but I don't
mean,
think
there are no dark
anyone's
horses
gonna
in the West.
gonna emerge and shock the world or whatever. I think it's gonna be pretty cut and dry.
Isn't basketball the most exciting?
Yeah, it's exciting when it gets
No,
to
it's great to watch. I love basketball. It's just you know what's going to happen.
the conference finals. That's when it gets fun, and then the finals, because
Very much so.
when it's gonna be San Antonio and Golden State or Oklahoma City and Golden State, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then when they get to the finals, whoever it is, those games
Yeah.
are fun. Like the Heat and San Antonio a couple years ago. That
Yeah.
was exciting. Every game, even last year, every game was pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, that one was. Well, that last year's was just exciting because LeBron James was, oh my god, good. Like averaging, he was so good. The Warriors won that series, and they're like, "Yo, is LeBron gonna win MVP for this series?"
And he deserved it. I think he deserved it over Iggy.
That is the craziest part.
But Iggy did a great job.
He did do a great job.
No, he kind of solidified their small ball lineup and locked up their title. But still, what LeBron was doing was otherworldly.
LeBron won the ESPY for best championship performance for that.
Good.
He didn't win. But he still won the ESPY for best championship performance, and he went up on stage and said thanks for the award for best second place performance or something like that.
Oh, you was salty.
Are you like? Do you guys want to see LeBron win, or would you rather see Golden State win? Because they both, I mean, everyone's been talking about like LeBron matching Jordan for 6 rings, and I mean at this point that's probably not going to happen in his career. I think it's too late if he's got to win 4 more.
He'd have to have like a career renaissance late. But I'm not sure he's going to do that. I don't know. I am torn on that issue because I want LeBron to win a title for Cleveland just because I feel like that.
I feel so bad for Cleveland.
Yeah, I know. Cleveland's Cleveland, and nothing's good in Cleveland. Like, I'm sorry, the Browns, that whole situation, the Indians.
I'd love to see Cleveland get a ring.
Yeah,
just for Cleveland.
Oh no, absolutely.
Eventually.
Plus, I mean, I know LeBron can be lame, but I'd like to see him like finish the story and like actually go back to Cleveland, win his hometown, the championship he promised them all those years ago, and like make good on his promise. But at the same time, the Warriors are so cool. The Warriors are just awesome, and
this
so
year,
much fun to
I
watch.
think this year it would be nice to see the Warriors just finish it off.
Finish
off the great story that they are.
What's it? Steph Curry is he's like questionable for playing tonight or something like that because he rolled his ankle.
And
could you imagine if Steph Curry is out for this series, and they lose in the first round of the playoffs after breaking?
That would be something else.
I think that
even
they're
without
good enough.
Curry,
they're good enough. That, just like Ryan was about to say.
I don't think so.
Really?
I do not think so.
the Rockets.
James Harden. I think if James Harden can get going, he could do something. I like the Warriors a lot, and I think they are a very good team without Steph Curry, but I think they are a lot worse without Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's true. They have struggled without Curry this year.
In the few games he's been out, I think they lost, I want to say he was out 5 games, and I want to say they lost 2. He was out 3?
I think.
Okay.
I saw some stat where it had how many games that each of their players had missed, and Curry was not
I know
too
they
many.
lost one of the games he was out, and that alone is concerning for me, just because it's a small sample size, but
Yeah, I mean, if they go up against Oklahoma City or San Antonio,
then
their
they're
chances
definitely in
decrease.
Yeah.
A
They would
lot.
probably lose.
Yeah.
they would
lose without him because he's their best player. I mean, you take
Definitely,
any
yeah.
best player off any team, and then what do you have? Klay Thompson shooting an extra 15 times a game?
You know, he did have. There's only 2 players. There's only 2 seasons where a player has had more 3-pointers than Klay Thompson did this season, and both of them were Steph Curry seasons. One of them was this year. The other one was either last year or 2 years ago.
I feel like it had to be last year because he broke the record for most ever.
He's broken the record 3 years in a row.
No, he's
And this
broken
year
his own record 3 years
He just
in a row.
demolished the record this year.
Oh God, it's
Right now, the odds to win the Eastern Conference for the Cavs are 5-13, which makes no sense to me. I really don't know how that works. Basically saying, if I bet $5 on the Cavs to win, then I owe 8 more if they win. That's basically what I see from that.
I never really got those betting odds. I always
Yeah,
been,
I always
plus
go
minus.
straight
Like
up.
if it's 2-1 odds, that's 50%, right?
Yeah.
That's a 50-50 chance. You can double your money. So if it's
Well, you just
the
break that
other way,
Why
I
you
don't-
break that fraction down and just do a little quick math?
no. Warriors are 5-11 odds. So basically, you're saying that both of them are locks to win, and then the Warriors are 1-2 odds to win the finals.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that works, but
Yeah, somebody with some algorithm is doing it, and we are just not understanding.
no.
Yeah. But thinking about it, could you imagine if the Warriors actually lose? Like, if by some miracle,
Oh,
someone...
it'd be one of the biggest upsets in
It would-
sports.
Who would they
Like-
lose to?
They could lose. They could definitely lose to San Antonio.
They very well could lose to San Antonio, but I don't know. I'm just thinking what if some team comes out of the blue and actually upsets them just because
Like
I would bet a lot of money that that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
If they
Yeah.
stay healthy.
Probably
They
not going to
lost
happen.
how many games all season? 9?
Yes.
How are they going to lose 4 in a 7-game
One,
stretch
yeah.
when they lose 9 in an 82-game stretch?
no. I don't know. Just like I could just see them pulling a Seattle Mariners and just breaking the record for most wins in a season, and
Yeah.
then just nothing, just having nothing to show for it. Similar to the Phillies.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think they're so good.
Oh yeah, no,
They're
I do
too
too.
good, and it's basketball. It's there aren't
Let's
like
not forget.
there's not upsets like that in
Yeah.
7-game basketball series.
Yeah. I mean, how many times did the Lakers and the Celtics just like repeat championships?
Yeah, that's true.
Too many.
Yeah,
They have what, like 30 of the NBA's
yeah. And
championships
the
or something?
NBA's
Yeah.
only been around for like 60 or 70 years.
Yeah.
Well, when you get the best players early, you're gonna do really well.
Yeah,
Bill Russell has what, like 11 rings?
God,
Yep.
I don't know. Will
more rings than
Chamberlain.
fingers.
Chamberlain doesn't have that many.
He doesn't. I think he
think
only
he
has,
only has
one.
3.
He won one with the Sixers. I think he won maybe the one
One
with
with the Warriors.
one with the Philadelphia Warriors here, and then
Yeah.
maybe one out.
Wait,
in-
he played with the Sixers and the Warriors.
he played. Yeah,
But I don't
'cause
think he won
Ah.
with the Sixers.
I thought
the
he won one with the
1967 championship. Was,
Okay.
Wilt was on that team.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he got a lot of hate when being pinned up against Russell because Russell has the 11 and he
Yeah.
only has however many rings that he has,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Oh, but what's it? I was reading something interesting. It was kind of putting Steph Curry's 3-point shot increase into perspective, like going from like what was it? One. How many did he hit last season? It was like 173 or something like that, and then going to no, it was 200.
It was 200 something, and then this year
Yeah,
400 plus,
like
yeah.
nearly a 40% increase. That would be like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain in the 70s averaged 50 points a game. That would, for him to make the type of increase Steph Curry made, that would be averaging 70 points a game. There's a season where he averaged 30 rebounds or something.
Yeah.
The year before that, that would be him averaging 50 rebounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. Like just the things that man did.
To compare it to other sports, I think it would be like some Bryce Harper hitting like 90 home runs in a season or something.
I think
like that.
I think it was like 100 or something.
Yeah.
Just insane numbers.
Is Steph Curry the best shooter ever?
Yes.
With the he's still so young, and it's so hard to say that, and you just got to say you got to give him more time, but he has done
Yeah.
more than anyone thought possible in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I have no problem with saying
So,
Steph
yeah.
Curry is the greatest person to ever shoot a basketball. Well, I'm sorry, that's saying the best player ever. He is the best person ever at shooting a basketball, I should say.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
I
he
mean, Ray Allen was, I'd say before Steph, Ray Allen was probably the best shooter ever, and he's just just trampled all over it, all over his reputation.
Let's say
Well,
Ray Allen still deserves that title right now until Steph passes him, but Steph's gonna pass him.
Oh yeah,
it's a done
See,
deal.
for me, I'll officially be able to say Steph is the best ever when he goes into that late part of his career, like Ray Allen did, where it was like, okay, this is just the clutch 3-point shooter. This is the guy where it's like clock's running down, get him the ball,
Yep.
and win us this game.
Wilt Chamberlain never won with the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Won once with the Sixers, and then won with the Lakers.
Interesting. So
Forgot he played with the Lakers.
Yeah, I think Ray Allen's still the best.
Really?
Going back, yeah. Just because he played at such a different time than Steph. And Steph, with that team, they might be changing the game of basketball with a smaller center and just pushing it up the floor. No more big man. But Ray Allen, when he played on teams, it was always an inside-out game.
Yeah.
And he would shoot, I don't know, not as many threes as Steph and Klay Thompson are shooting because that's what their game is
Right.
go around the perimeter and see who can get open.
Yeah.
But Ray Allen was more of we're going to go to you if we need it, but we're going to try and get it inside and score in the paint like every other normal basketball team did for the last 70 years before the Warriors came along. So that's why I think that he's still the best, is because he did it for so long and he was so good at it.
Yeah.
And Steph has emerged for the last 3 years, but Ray played so well. Allen played so well
Jesus. Jesus Shuttleworth.
Oh, so cool.
for 15 years.
All right, but I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
Who'd win in a series? Bulls or the Warriors?
The Warriors. Do you know why? Because sports and athleticism and nutrition don't get any worse over time. There's a 20-year gap between when the Bulls played and when the Warriors played. Put both of them in their prime up against each other right now, the Warriors would win.
What about you?
Yeah, I think the Warriors because of that
Yeah.
logic.
Well, my view on it, I think Jordan is better than Curry. I think Jordan and Pippen are better than Curry and Clay. And I think Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman are all better than Curry, Clay, and Draymond. But if the two teams were to play each other, I think the Warriors would win just because they're a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I feel like when you look at it like player by player like that, the Bulls probably have more talent like up and down because they had 3 Hall of Famers. But I don't think you can look at it like that because it's still a team effort.
Yeah.
And you got the benches playing in, and there's 48 minutes to play. So it's about conditioning, and it goes back to that. And the Warriors, in today's era with all these conditioning programs and different ways to eat, would probably outlast the Bulls.
Yeah.
Trivia question before we go to a break. Who are the 3 most winningest players of all time in the NBA? One of them is still active and like just got to 1,000 wins.
Ooh. LeBron James?
No.
Tony Parker.
Close.
Ooh, Tim Duncan.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, who are the other 2?
Kareem.
Kareem. Okay, he's number 1.
He's number 1. Bill Russell?
No. You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
We
were just talking about the Bulls, so it's someone from the Bulls.
Jordan?
It's not Jordan.
Scottie Pippen.
It's not Pippen.
Steve Kerr.
No. Good guess, though.
Time? Can we have an era?
Yeah.
Or would that give it away?
An era?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, he played for the Bulls like during the Jordan era.
Oh, okay. The point guard.
Oh, what is that dude's name? I do not know the point guard from
John
that team.
Paxton?
Nah, not him.
Damn, this is tough.
Rodman?
Nah. Let's go to a break.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if you guys can figure it out. You listen to the Sunday Sports Show on WHIP. We'll be right back.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control of my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a
left.
left.
You are not going to.
Then what you're going to do is turn onto Marcy
and
Avenue.
just broke up
and go past the first 3 lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Show on WHIP. Before the break, I asked who are the 3 most winningest players in the history of the NBA. They each have over 1,000 wins, and they're the only 3 to do so. Number 1 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played forever and obviously got 1,000 wins. Number 3 is Tim Duncan, who just got his 1,000th win. He's the only player to win 1,000 games with the same team. So you guys can't figure out who number 2 is.
Nope.
Wait, who did Kareem win his other games with?
He played with the Bucks and the Lakers.
Oh,
so
yeah, the
he
Bucks.
split his wins up.
Forgot about that
one.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Bucks, I think.
Yeah.
So number 2, who was part of that Bulls era, Robert Parrish.
Oh.
Robert Parrish is number 2 all time.
Well, yeah, of course.
In wins. he just happened to be with that Bulls
Typical.
team.
He's an all-time great right there.
Yeah.
When you think winningest players of all time, it's Robert Parrish.
That man's a winner.
Yeah.
Who even is he? What did he play? How many points did he average?
What was his dreams? What were his hopes and fears?
14.5 points per game.
Oh, money.
He is in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
No.
For winning.
Yeah, for winning.
He's a winner.
Yeah, pretty
In
much.
America, we only want winners. You don't get trophies for not winning.
Yeah,
First
that's
or
true.
last.
Unless you're Dan Marino. He did try to sell his soul to the devil in Little Nicky to win a Super
remember
Bowl.
Little Nicky?
The devil denied him.
Oh, come on, you did it with Namath.
Yeah, I forgot about that line. So, it's playoff season. It's also baseball season, and we've seen some interesting, an interesting little first couple of weeks for the Phillies, who really sucked, then they really didn't, and now they really suck again.
Yeah.
So, who are the real Phillies?
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, probably a lot closer to really sucking.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that they have going for them is they have 5 pretty decent starters.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys like Hellickson, Nola, and Morton who are all predicated on location. And like last night, if one of them can't find their spots and the night before, then they're going to get knocked around. But you got your power guys in Velasquez and Eckhoff that you can roll them out, and they're going to be your stoppers just because they have such dominant stuff and they throw so hard. Now, the problem being the offense, as everyone predicted, because in 2 games against the Nationals, they've had 2 solo home runs, and that's been their offense. And they're a small ball team, and they know that, but they're still getting most of their runs from home runs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, but they're all solo shots, and that's the funny thing, because you'd expect them to be like slapping balls through the hole, getting walks, but no, they're just popping up, and then 3 innings later, there's a home run, and it's 1-0, and then the bullpen doesn't hold the lead.
They're not like finding any sort of game that they can continue to play with and win as. They're just somehow pulling out wins like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And with like the pitching, there's definitely the starting pitchers will keep them in the game. Vinny Velasquez, the other night or the other day, I think that was a 1:00 game.
Yeah,
that was one of the best performances, one of the best pitching performances that I've seen from a Phillies pitcher in quite some time.
Like statistically, it was one of the best performances in franchise history.
Yeah, 16 strikeouts. He pitched a complete game, right? He finished a complete
112
game.
pitches,
Shutout,
3 hits, no
16
walks.
strikeouts. Yeah, no walks.
Unbelievable.
Going through the box score. Yeah. Yeah, his stuff. I only saw like 2 innings of the game, but his stuff was just
Lights
dirty.
out.
It was nasty. Like I felt so bad for the Padres because I mean, first of all, they're the Padres,
Yeah,
and then second of all,
poor Padres.
I mean, hey, they do play in San Diego, so they got that going for them.
Yeah,
but he was unreal. And if like you asked me today, who won that trade with Ken Giles? The Phillies, hands down.
Easily.
He's not even their closer.
Yeah,
and he's given up. Yeah, he's given up 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings this season, and he didn't even get the job out of spring training.
Yeah,
Gregerson has the job.
That is so rough.
that was a trade that the Phillies made that a lot of people questioned, and the people that questioned it, who I was probably one of them. We're wrong.
Yeah.
We were wrong to question that. That absolutely was a good move for the Phillies this past offseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's... You get 5 guys, one of whom was the first overall pick, and there's just so much upside in that deal. Like, he's a closer, and he'll be good for, I don't know, a good closer is good for, say, 10 years. But if you get 5 guys, 2 of whom will pan out, 2 starters, like, one bullpen guy that comes in and is your J.C. Romero of this season and the next 5 seasons, then I think that you definitely win that trade. Because there's just so much talent. Like, you just look at the players, and it's like, oh, my goodness. It's just globs of baseball talent, and I just love it.
Yeah, no, all this, and like the part that just gets me, it's like all this just for a closer. Like I get it,
Right.
he is a phenomenal closer, like young, tons of upside, but it's a closer. Like at best,
1 inning a game.
Yeah,
I know.
That's it.
But it's the most important inning, and you
It is
need
very
a good bullpen. That's what makes. That's the difference maker for the postseason.
Yeah, but I think this deal, like for me, I thought it was a good deal, mostly by like some of the signings that were done in the offseason because you had guys like J.A. Happ getting like legitimately kind of decent contracts, like more money than he should ever see, just because he's a starting pitcher and he's on the open market. So that alone, like you need to get like these good pitchers while they're affordable. Because going on the open market, you have to pay a lot because the good pitchers nowadays are almost exclusively signing triple-digit deals.
But it's not like the Phillies don't have money.
Oh, no, they don't have money, but
They
it's a
have
lot.
money.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know.
They don't not have money.
Yeah. Sorry, double negative. But what's it? Yeah, I know that, but it's just so much easier, like, from building a franchise standpoint if, like, you just have the affordable pieces.
Yeah, and it's much better to build a franchise when you build them through the farm system and they get to know the area, know the fans, and then they come up to the big club as opposed to throwing money at, say, Cliff Lee. And he loved it here, and he had a great time, and he did well, but he doesn't have that connection that your Cole Hamels would have, or your Ryan Howard, or your Chase Utley, or your Jimmy Rollins, who came up, who understand everything, and who grew up here and matured here. And it's much more fun as a fan, too, to see, like, say J.P. Crawford in 10 years is an all-star shortstop. It's like, wow, I remember when they drafted him, he was so good, and now he's doing great. And it's cool to see that and, like, get to know the players more.
Yeah. I don't know. My stance on that is I definitely will agree with you that it's, like, better to build a franchise through, like, the draft. Well, yeah, the draft, I guess.
It's hard to build through the draft
for
because
baseball,
all the players are still so many years away.
So I guess like just building through the farm system in baseball's case, I guess I do agree with you. But I think baseball is the one sport where you can get away with buying your team because like you look at there's definitely examples of like it going horribly wrong, but I mean you look at all those Yankees teams, Boston's bought
the Yankees just the year they won the World Series over the Phillies, the Yankees just straight up bought that team.
AJ Burnett, CC Sabathia and Mark Teixeira made a
1, 2, and 3
combined $217 million that year, something because Burnett was 82.5, Sabathia was 160, and then Teixeira was like 180. So obviously that math doesn't add up to what I said it was, but it was something like that.
Yeah, no. But you have those teams like the Yankees where it usually pans out, but I feel like most cases when like in other sports when you do try and buy your franchise, it just goes horribly wrong.
No, I mean baseball is really the only league you can do that in.
But I don't even think you can do that.
There are I will agree with you. There's tons of examples of it not.
It doesn't
paying.
work
Like,
out. Yeah, the Angels, how many off years they've had?
Look at the Diamondbacks right now.
Put all that money. Yeah,
they're not panning out too great.
It's 10 games in.
I know that, but like so far it's very iffy.
Yeah,
look at the Marlins from a few years ago. That was worse.
And you look at those Yankee teams that had Sabathia and Teixeira, they still had the guys who had been like mainstays on the team forever. They still had your Andy Pettitte, your Derek Jeter, your A-Rod, your Jorge
Mariano
Posada,
Rivera.
your Nick Swisher. So, Mariano Rivera. So they still had guys. If you have your core, then you can throw good pieces in, and if you have a stable clubhouse, then it's fine. But you can't just throw money at people and expect them to win. And they might win, and they might do well, but they just don't have the same kind of affection for the city and the team, and they're more like mercenaries, just like hopping around from city to city to get their paycheck, and they don't care. That's the difference, in my opinion. Because you look like at the Phillies, even when they tried to get the 4 aces, and then they threw globs of money at
Cliff Lee and
Lee and I mean Halladay panned out.
Yeah.
But
I thought Cliff Lee panned out.
Cliff Lee panned out. I mean,
they gave him too much money for too many years.
Yeah.
But
Well, hey, he was good for most of those years. It just got to the point where
the rest of the team wasn't
injured.
good.
Yeah,
and then he
nothing
got
was good
injured.
around
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
In a few years, though, I mean, talking about like how to build a team and how there's no trick or no like guaranteed way to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a lot of high hopes for the Phillies. In 2 to 3 years, they may have one of the best pitching rotations in the league. They have the first pick in the draft this year, and I mean, it's so hard to pay attention to mock baseball drafts when none of those players are going to be playing for a while. But the consensus number 1 pick is going to be Jason Groom.
Nah,
who's a
can't
17.
be.
Who?
He's not eligible for
no,
the draft.
He's not eligible.
He just got suspended until like June because he was pitching in a league that he couldn't be pitching in, or
right?
something
And then he came back.
Yeah.
And he came back to. He's from the area. He came back
from
to
South Jersey.
Barnegat, and I came. I just saw this article saying that he is ineligible for like 30 to 60 days, but I'm pretty sure he's only ineligible to play.
Yeah.
He can still. He's still going to enter the draft, and he'll probably be the number 1 pick. So if he pans out, which every now and then the MLB draft does have those guys who actually do pan out.
JD Drew. What? He was the number 1 overall pick.
There's so many. Oh,
yeah, but hey, he never played for the Phillies.
Double-A batteries.
Yeah, really.
Mark Appel.
Delman Young was number 1 pick too.
Oh god,
and he's a
former Philly
fine player.
Yeah, he was
There's nothing wrong with
very
him.
clutch in the postseason. I'll give him that much.
But
believe it or not,
like when you draft 1 overall, you expect that guy is going to be your future. And too many times it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
There's got to be a different way to do it, and I think that it should have. There should be a rule, kind of like how the NBA and the NFL do it, where you have to go to college for like 1 or 2 years to make them develop more. Like you don't. I mean, to put it in like a different perspective, which is a little kind of a radical thought. It would be like drafting players. It would be like drafting NFL players before they get to high school.
Mm.
Or it'd be like drafting NFL players when they graduate high school and you don't know how they're going to be in college. And then, Christian Hackenberg could have been the number 1 pick in the draft a few years ago if you were able to draft high school players, and he's certainly not number 1 right now.
Yeah.
Like a 3rd-round pick.
If that.
Yeah, no.
But Groom is only 17.
He's only
And you
17, yeah.
Yeah, and you look at Bryce Harper. He got picked when he was 17, and now he finally came into his own last season when he was how old?
He was 21.
Yeah, right.
He was.
He would have been a junior in college. That's right when he hit his prime.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for working up through the farm system without going to college. But I think the way that you prevent missing on picks as much is by taking guys who went to college.
Yeah.
Look at the Phillies, because
Strasburg went to San Diego State for a year or
1
two.
year. Yeah. But you look at like Ryan Howard, Chase Utley. There were a couple on that Phillies team in 08. They had about half the team had gone to college, and that was impressive. But like most of your development is done when you're in college, and then you can get to the bigs faster, because playing at college is similar to playing on a minor league team if it's a good enough school. So I think that that's the best way, in my opinion, because drafting a 17-year-old kid and expecting him to be good in X amount of years, like, that is flipping a coin, especially with the first overall pick. Like, take a guy who has proven himself against similar competition, because you look at even Jesse Biddle a couple years ago. He was mowing people down at Germantown Friends, and then he gets to the majors, he gets to the minors, and he's got the talent, but psychologically he's just not there.
Yeah.
And the development from college that you get mentally, physically, emotionally, like independent-wise, is much more intangible than throwing a ball really hard against guys who aren't going to go to a D3 school.
Yeah. We have plenty more to talk about on the other side of this break. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Show on WHIP.
Go, Caleb! Come on, hit a homer, Jesse.
Let's go, guys.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's true. I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obvious.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Of course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hello, and welcome to today's lottery drawing. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's not yours. Second one, not yours. And another number that's not yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone can save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Show on WHIP. Just got done talking about Philly's future, what they're going to do in the MLB draft, the problems with the MLB draft. It's about to be, well, it's playoff season right now. It's about to be draft season. Yes. And there's been some news with the NFL draft this week. The Los Angeles Rams traded House, basically, to get the number 1 overall pick from the Tennessee Titans. And really, from the Titans' perspective, I think if there's 1 year to trade the first overall pick, this is the year to do it.
Well,
I think this draft class is really nothing too impressive at all. There seems to be there's a lot of talk that like the Rams might take Jared Goff. In my opinion, I think they're going to take Wentz, and I think that's a done deal.
Nah, I think they'll take the California boy just because they're moving to L.A. I feel like that just fits everything.
I didn't even think of it that way. Yeah.
No, this whole trade, I think this whole trade was just the Rams trying to get their fan base excited because the Rams they're the Rams, and now they're coming back to L.A. and they're going to be the L.A. Rams. We need to get excited. We got our franchise quarterback. Yeah.
I don't think the Rams really needed any more. Rams fans in LA really needed any more motivation to get excited. I think the fact that they have a football team back is excitement enough, and it's LA. I love LA. That's a golden town for a franchise to be in.
They always come late. Their fans. They'll show up in halfway through the second quarter and leave right after halftime.
Yeah, they're terrible. I'm not rooting for them at all. And honestly,
those uniforms are going to be so sick.
Yeah, they'll be cool. I think that the NFL had something to do with that. I think it isn't a little bit of a coincidence. No, well, obviously that, but them getting the first overall pick. I feel like the NFL really, really wanted that to happen.
Yeah, I
But
feel
I
like
mean,
the Rams just gave him a good
yeah,
deal.
They gave him a good deal, but
deal.
I just think it's a little bit of a coincidence that the year that LA finally gets a football team back, they end up with the first pick in the draft.
Well, when you think about it, the Rams were on the receiving end of the RG3 deal, so
Yeah.
they've been on that in that area for a while. So I don't know how much the NFL had to do with it, but like they've obviously been a part of blockbuster trades for a really high pick. They've seen how badly it can work out for the other team.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were thinking because I think that they gave away what 6 picks?
They gave away
First in 2017, first this year.
2 seconds this year.
Yeah, the 2 seconds.
First and a third next year, and a fifth next year too, I think.
Yeah, like that boggles my mind because I feel that like 2 first-round picks will trump any 1 first-round pick, depending on who it is. But this year, there's no home run pick, in my opinion. Like what?
Yeah, I don't
Ryan
think
said,
there
but
is either.
I think that your point is very accurate. That they want to get the kid from California, and they want to get a homegrown guy and bring in a lot of love from the state, and then hopefully turn into a winning franchise.
Yeah. But for me, I don't think there's much conspiracy going on. Just because like I saw the Eagles deal because apparently the Eagles deal was like second to the Rams for trying to trade up to the number 1 pick, and that was like a first this year, first and a third this year, first, second, and third, and maybe a fifth next year too. And that alone, I just feel like those are kind of similar deals, but Rams is like definitely better. So that alone has me thinking that they just took the better deal between the two.
Of the 6 mock drafts that are on NFL.com right now, 5 of them have the Rams taking Carson Wentz. I think this is a case of the media trying to play it up like they're not sure what they're going to do, just to get people interested and excited and reading mock drafts and going on the internet, and then of course watching the draft itself. I think Carson Wentz, I'd put money on him being the number 1. I think he's definitely a guy that you put him on any team and he can, he'll make it work, even if it were the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, if there's one loser from that trade, it's the Browns.
They might be, they're like trying to trade out of the 2nd pick now.
That might not be a bad idea for them.
But then again, there's also been, like, before the Rams even trade up, there were rumors that the Browns kind of wanted to trade back. So I'm not sure how much I buy into that.
So, in my opinion, the Eagles have the 8th pick, and there are 8 players that I would take at 8. Yeah. And when I say I would take at 8, I'm including guys who are not going to be there. I'm just saying I don't think that they should trade down at all. I think whoever's there, they should draft. But of the one guy I don't want them to even think about drafting is Jared Goff. Yeah, I'm not for this insurance project that the Eagles are doing.
I don't think it's really insurance. I think it's just building to the future because they don't think Sam Bradford is like the real deal.
Well, then they shouldn't have re-signed him.
You just need a stopgap just so you aren't completely abysmal. Because I mean, like
one of them is going to fail, and you're going to waste your money. Either waste your money on a quarterback for 2 years, an expensive quarterback.
Well, I mean, I think next year it's very little guaranteed money.
I think they can. Yeah, it's not a lot.
Like they can get out of the deal pretty easy.
Or you waste a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
On a quarterback who probably will never see the field for you. And that's me because I think Bradford is going to work out. I think it was without an insane coach and Chip Kelly, I think they'll be able to make it work in Doug Peterson's offense. And, I could be totally wrong. Maybe Jared Goff is the future. Maybe none of them are the future, and this is all just a big mistake. Another guy I don't think the Eagles should take of the top 10.
Hang on, I just want to ask, who are the 8 players that you think?
Okay,
because I agree with you with the Eagles being at 8. There's a handful of players that can justify the 8th pick, and I want them to draft one of those few.
Yeah. Okay. So of the 8, Carson Wentz not going to be available. No. Miles Jack, if he's available, that'd be lucky. Jalen Ramsey probably not going to be there. Bosa not going to be there. DeForest Buckner might be there.
He might be.
I would take him. Tunsil is now projected to be the 6th pick in the draft by the Ravens. I mean, the fact that he's only 2 away from the Eagles makes me think maybe, but probably not. Ronnie Stanley is the guy that's probably, in my opinion, I think he's going to be the guy the Eagles draft.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are, is that 7?
That's 7.
That's 7. The other one is Vernon Hargreaves.
Not Ezekiel Elliott?
No.
Oh, I like Zeke. But, I mean, I'm with you on that. It's like if all those players are gone, then I take Ezekiel Elliott just because the running back position isn't really worth the 8th pick of the draft to me.
It's not.
It really isn't.
So that's what so many people don't understand.
Like, I get
that.
it. Ezekiel Elliott can be like a very, very good running back from the get. But you can get a good running back. You can get good running backs, or you can make.
You can make good running backs. It's not that hard to make good running backs, especially when you you build up your offensive line, which is what the Eagles should be doing. Yeah. That's where you start. That's where a good offense starts. And honestly, look back at all the teams that have won Super Bowls, and look back at who their running backs are. Who's this year? Denver had C.J. Anderson. Okay, he's good, not the best.
Last year, LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount, who just got re-signed by the Patriots like a couple days ago. Year before that was Marshawn Lynch. Okay, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer?
Marshawn Lynch?
I think Marshawn's a Hall of Famer. And I don't think the NFL Hall of Fame is that exclusive. If you're like a multiple-time Pro Bowler, then I think you can.
Yeah, we can have that. We can hold that argument.
Yeah, that'll be for next week.
Yeah, that's definitely a good argument. We could definitely have. Who was before the
Seahawks?
Seahawks was the Ravens, who had Ray Rice.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He could do a lot.
He definitely could do a lot.
He could block.
Yeah, hey diddle diddle, Ray Rice up the middle.
Okay, so. And who was before that was
the Giants.
Was it the Giants?
Oh God, who was their running back at the time? That was
Bradshaw.
See,
yeah,
you don't even know.
When they won in 2007, they had a committee. They had Brandon Jacobs, Derek Ward, and Bradshaw.
I hate the Giants, but that was a cool running back trio. Yeah, they tore stuff up.
Brandon Jacobs was like a defensive end carrying the ball.
Yeah, I know. But what's it? Yeah, my stance on the Eagles taking Ezekiel Elliott, I'm fine if nothing else is there, but I feel like you could do just as well if you take someone like Ronnie Stanley and then draft someone like Devontae Booker late, because Devontae Booker I think is a very good running back. And he could fall a little bit. But what's it? I think there is a chance that the Eagles could very much benefit from this Rams trade, because in my mind there's a crazy situation where it's Goff, Wentz go 1 and 2, and then that means Laramie Tunsil falls to the Chargers. Ramsey falls to the Cowboys. Joey Bosa falls to the Jaguars. But I think Joey Bosa could be very ideal to them. But after they just signed Malik Jackson, I think they might not need it. So I think if they take it, that could benefit the Eagles very much, because then they can easily trade up to the Ravens if they want, or say the Ravens draft someone like DeForest Buckner or Ronnie Stanley. That means Miles Jack is falling right into their lap. So
I'd love that. I mean, a lot of people are really high on this Ezekiel Elliott.
I mean, he's exciting and all, but
he's exciting.
He's
a good player. But if the Eagles don't give him the tools he needs and don't work on the offense around him, and at least have a passing game that they can just take the weight off his shoulders, it's not going to work out.
I feel like you just need a good zone blocking scheme to set up a running back, and you're good.
Who were the two best Eagles running backs in the last 16 years? Brian Westbrook and Shady McCoy. Second, third round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yep. You can make it happen. And honestly, look at it from the other perspective. We were talking about Super Bowl running backs. How about the best running backs ever and their history of winning Super Bowls or not winning Super Bowl? Okay. All-time leading rushers from starting at 1. Emmitt Smith. Okay, he won 3. Yeah. Walter Payton. He won, once?
I think so.
With the best team ever?
85,
yeah. Barry Sanders, never won. Curtis Martin, never won. LT, never won. Jerome Bettis won 1 in his last career, or his last year before he retired. Dickerson never won. Tony Dorsett, maybe he won 1 with the Cowboys. Jim Brown played before the Super Bowl existed. Marshall Faulk won 1. Edgerrin James, pretty sure he never won.
No, didn't he win 1 with the Colts?
With the Colts, yeah, I think you're right.
Wait, I feel like he was off the Colts by that.
No, he was. Yeah, he was. He was on the Cardinals that year. Yep.
Damn.
So there you go.
They had
Never
Joseph
won.
Adai that year.
Oh my God, they had Joseph Adai that year. You were so right. Joseph Adai.
Good old Joseph Adai.
So both ways that you look at it, that's just my point of view. That running backs are not that important. You really, with other players that they can build a team with, shouldn't take Elliott at 8.
I think that for a running back, you should get a guy who is good at everything from running to catching to pass blocking.
Yeah.
And
Ezekiel Elliott very much is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the 8th pick, I feel like you can find someone who's a smidge worse in the 3rd round.
See, to me, Devontae Booker does all that things. I think he could work a little bit on his pass blocking, but he has great hands. He's physical. He's got decent speed. He can run in between the tackles or take it outside. I just feel like he's more of a complete back, and you can get him late. Yeah.
Well, guys, it's 1 o'clock, so that's going to end our show. We have one more show next week before classes end and before the summer begins. Thank you for listening to the Sunday Sports Show on WHIP. For Jimmy Williamson, John Gilbert, Jimmy Johns, I'm Ryan Snowden.
Let's get that
See you next week.